Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast. And I think today needs to be No Stress Thursday. Why? Because we don't want to stress about Thursday, do we? Who wants to stress about Thursday?
No one.
So, hey, it's a day for interesting people doing interesting things, and we share people like that on the Pirate Broadcast. And today is no different because I got Rob Balasabas on the phone, and I got him on the horn. We got him on the video, and we're going to have a rock and roll time today because I'm excited to talk about content. You know, anybody that knows me knows I'm passionate about video and building systems to create things that you can actually put out into the world and share. And we're sharing this on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. So if you are so inclined, I'd love to have you go head over there and subscribe to my YouTube channel since Rob's here. It's like, you can join the show though. Just wait till after the show and then you can go over there and join in. So Rob, good morning. How are you this fine day?
I'm doing good. How are you, Russ? Good to have I'm always used to just being a host, so I said good to have you here, but good to be here as a guest for every now and then. It's nice to be a guest on someone else's show. So good to be here. Bright and early. It's just after 7 a.m. So you're a machine doing this 5 days a week. So yeah, glad to be here. Honored to be a guest here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. The honor is mine. And I've been watching you, and you were down at Social Media Marketing World. I'm like the stalker. So you're the brand evangelist for TubeBuddy, which I have an account, by the way.
Awesome.
And that's why I know I love the little little coupons the certificates that I get, the acknowledgments. Nice. And I'm really close to a couple of milestones. So if I can get a couple more subscribers, just that little bit of growth every single day is just matter. That's what matters. So what's it like being a brand evangelist for TubeBuddy? Walk us through the scenario, because you're doing a lot of interviews just like I am. So
yeah, really. My job, I guess, if you boil it down, is like is really to shine and showcase the amazing creators that are creating content on YouTube, but really, even other platforms. I do a regular live show now I think we're on our 15th episode in the last few weeks. Just started about a few weeks ago, about a week after I started at TubeBuddy, and really shining light. I'd love to have you on the show, but like really talking about what it is like to be a content creator. It can be on YouTube, but I also talk to people that are creating content on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook Live. Just really like telling the story. So it's a little bit about strategy, but also just about like the story. Why did you get started? What's your message? All those things that I think a lot of content creators don't get to talk about because they're focused on, the content they're delivering, teaching people what they know, but they don't get to tell their story. And so that's what I really want to do is, kind of build that environment, that space to share people's story, because behind the tutorial videos there's stories of people, and that's what I love to get out of them.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me because it's like, how did you arrive at this location of being a content creator? And I guess my question would be is how did you plant the seed to be excited about creating content, and what's the driver for you to get up in the morning and create content? What is it for Rob?
Yeah. Like, I think, for me, I think that everybody has a story, everybody has a voice, everybody has experiences, and all these things are unique, right? But they're unique, but they're all very similar and they're same. So, we can relate to stories, right? Like, that's how a lot of things are passed down, generation to generations, the stories. That's how people love to, any good speaker starts with stories, right? So I love sharing stories. I love getting that out of people. That's what gets me excited. For me, with my work, it's to connect with people. So my job here as a brand evangelist at TubeBuddy is really, it's a bit of a dream job. I tell people it's a bit of a dream job because I get to build relationships with people. I get to meet amazing people like you and all these other creators all over the world. And that's my job, is to build relationships, to obviously tell them a little bit about TubeBuddy, but really build relationships with them, and then build a community around that and connect them with each other. So that's what I love to see when when I go to conferences or events or even live streams, that I see people connecting in the chats. Like right now, you have a lot of people. I'm watching the chats here, and people are connecting with each other in the chats. Things like that. I just love to see that happen. So that's what gets me excited each day. And that's what I get up for.
Yeah, it's interesting because I really enjoy the idea of us connecting and kind of explain a little bit about, for those that are not totally invested in YouTube or have an understanding of some of the tools that you can use on YouTube. Let's make sure that we kind of give an explanation of what TubeBuddy is and what it can do, because it's a phenomenal tool. And as someone that has a YouTube channel, and I've had YouTube channels over the years, and I've used TubeBuddy, tell us a little bit about what's going on over at TubeBuddy, and evangelize the platform a little bit, so we make sure we use your time wisely.
Yeah. No, that's all good. Like even a lot of our live streams, we like 5% will mention TubeBuddy. But yeah, I appreciate that, Russ. So TubeBuddy is essentially, we like to say, like, it's your best friend when you're building your YouTube channel. It doesn't just do one thing, really. Like there's inside of TubeBuddy, there's probably over 65 different tools for different things. As a YouTuber, there's so many things that you need to. There's so many skills. There's so many things that you need to do to really get it right. To have a channel that grows. You have to find the right topics, put the right keywords. The description has to tie into your keyword. There's all this SEO stuff. There's thumbnails. And so we try to make that as easy as possible. So we have tools in there for researching keywords. We have tools in there to make sure that your SEO is all lined up. So meaning that your title for your video is also mentioned in your description, and so that YouTube can read that's lined up. And then you also have to have tags, right? So you have to have all these things.
Now, tags haven't always been around. I mean, they're a fairly recent thing. And just for myself, I'd like to understand the difference between, or the impact in when a tag or a keyword should be used. And it's like, I'm not really there yet. The level of understanding is really quite, it's a ways away.
Yeah. No, totally. And for me too,
Yeah.
I'm learning as well. Yeah.
We're all learning. That's the beauty of it, though. The technology is evolving and the technology is changing and everything else. So like, I've been doing this webinar every night this week. I got another webinar tonight, and one of the platforms that I'm a fan of is Dub. Ruben Dow. I'm not sure if you know Ruben yet. Awesome individual, and I'm kind of a brand evangelist for Dub unofficially. Just because I like the platform, and so I've been teaching, sharing a few details around the platform and how you can actually use video to build relationships. And that's what YouTube is all about. It's building a platform that you can share video, you can share a story, you can share useful information, and it's a search engine. It's the second largest search engine in the world, next to Google. And it's really an incredibly powerful tool that a lot of people think, well, okay, it's too crowded. It's not going to work for me because it's too crowded. And I just, I'm not chasing the numbers as much as I want to build a body of content that people can go back to. I was telling my sister yesterday, it's like, I would like to have as much content as Seth Godin has. He's been posting blog posts every single day for, I don't know, decades. And it's just like amazing to me anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's a full-time job to be creating content, right? So it is, and some of these guys, they're not doing it all by themselves. They have teams and teams of people that micro content and create micro content and all those things. So yeah, I mean, good for you. I mean, you're doing so much here. You know, you're doing this on a daily basis. It's amazing. I think also with YouTube, it's really important to also know that, I mean, there's a guy, I don't know if you know this guy, Cody Warner. He's got this hashtag, and he's got an amazing community, and it's called No Small Creator, hashtag No Small Creator. And
I'll have to check that out.
yeah, it's a great community. And I heard him speak at Vid Summit a couple years ago, and really impacted me, because there is really no small creator, right? No matter what. Like if you have 5 subscribers or you've got 2 people watching your live stream, you know, there's no small creator, because you're really putting yourself out there. You know, you're not small. You know, you're putting out a message, and if you impact one person, then you're not small. You're doing such a big thing. So I think numbers are great. Numbers are something you definitely have to pay attention to as a business, right? If YouTube is a vehicle or an avenue or a channel for your business, yes, you do have to, you know, you have to make sure you're growing, of course, yeah. But it's not everything, right? There's some really amazing channels there that have fantastic businesses behind them that have under 1,000 subscribers, because, you know, if they're selling a service, it's high ticket. So, you know, if they have 1 or 2 people that contact them each month from all of their videos, you know, that could lead to $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 of business, right? So it really is not something like, subscribers are one thing for sure, and you know, all that stuff, but you know, it's not the only thing. So
well, I think what it is, Rob, I think what it really is for me as a creator of any level, right, is how do I build a community around my ideas, around my concepts, and what I'm sharing? Because, you know, my initial idea is pretty broad. Interesting people doing interesting things. It's like, hey, I can make anything interesting for a minute, right? Yeah. And so it's like, how do you build a community around an idea like that? And how do you build a community around a product or service? Or how do you build an idea or a community around anything? And it's really about putting yourself out there and doing the work and showing up and being consistent, in my opinion. And there's so many wonderful people in this community, and LinkedIn has been really amazing for me, and I just love it. And I just wanted to, for all of those that are joining just now or on the feed right now, I just want to share a bit of gratitude for you being here. Rob is an amazing individual. We've been bouncing back and forth, Rob, for a little while, and it just happened that the timing finally worked out that we connected. Angie, thank you so much. Diane, Matthew. I had Matthew on a little while ago. I think.
Hey, Matthew.
Byron is here. Vicky O'Neill. She loves TubeBuddy, by the way. So helpful. Thank you so much.
Hey, Vicky.
Latasha from Houston. Derek Monroe from Atlanta. Awesome. Matthew says it shows you love what you're doing. Both of you, I can see that. Well, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, Gabriel's here. Gabriel's doing some interesting thing. He's really cranking out some content, doing some interesting shows, testing and evaluating some stuff. Yeah. Cherry Phil Singer. Hey, how are you doing? And Roz. And it's just, and I know other people are on here, and Martin's on here as well. So, I mean, the thing about content creation, Rob, and I don't know if you find, because you create a lot of content as well, and what do you find is the biggest challenge for yourself personally? What's the biggest challenge you have?
Yeah. Oh man. The biggest challenges I think for me is picking what to talk about. Like I've got a Trello board. If I could show my screen, I would, but I've got a Trello board with all my ideas, and that's kind of how I keep track of my ideas. I've got them kind of columned into different things, you know, like this is a good idea for a YouTube channel, for a YouTube video. This is a good idea for a LinkedIn Live. This would be a good guest for this topic. Like I've got so many ideas, And I'm sure if that's something you can like relate to, let me know in the comments. I always want to know I'm not the only one.
I would
Yeah,
need
so
an extra screen.
exactly. So the picking one of the ideas, and I think as a content creator, there's so many shiny objects, right? You know, as an entrepreneur, as a business, there's so many shiny objects, especially in this day and age where we have so much at our like reach. You know, you can just like, I want to do this, I want to do this. But so picking up the topics that I want to talk about and create videos on each week is something I'm really trying to do better at. Trying to, and it's a bit of a balance between what would my audience, my community want to hear from me about, and also what would do really well on YouTube, right? What would the analytics and the keywords tell me YouTube wants to hear about to reach new subscribers? And it is a bit of a tricky thing. I have this conversation with a lot of like content creators, and it's one of those things where you just got to pick, right? And there is a way to do it so that you can still satisfy your existing, you know, subscribers, so like your subscribers now, but also sort of test out other new topics. You know, I was just having this conversation yesterday, and you know, as long as it ties back into, you know, what you're talking about. So I had Dale L. Roberts, who does self-publishing. And so he's all about self-publishing in his channel, but he's also a really brilliant marketer. And so he wanted to talk about email marketing. And so he just tied it together, you know, like how can email marketing help you as a self-publisher to get your books out and that sort of thing. So now he's attracting people that are interested in email marketing that are not necessarily self-publishers, but they might want to be, might want to publish their own books down the road, but they got hooked into his channel, his content through email marketing as a topic. And then now they're gonna hopefully see that he does self-publishing and that they can reach out to him to help them publish their books, you know, that sort of thing. So, you know, that's one. And then also for me, it's editing. So I do all my own editing. And
why do you think I do a live show?
Yeah, exactly. Zero editing. Yeah. That's why I like live streams as well. So
I thought about this, Rob.
You thought about this already?
I thought about it. Well, I've done a lot of editing, and it's just like nothing that I really, to me, it's just, it's challenging. Because I mean, you could shoot an hour of, you could shoot an hour and it could take you 2 or 3 hours to edit that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, unless you're really good. I mean, it's always like, okay, does this right? Is the timing right? Is it this pick or is this pick? Is it this?
Yeah, I know.
You know, and it's time consuming for me personally. Some people love editing, and it's just like, yes, hats off to you, because it's like,
for me too. No, it takes forever. So that's one of those things. You know, you want to do good quality. So I've tried to maybe just do less videos each week, but more time editing so that the quality is higher. So yeah, I would say, Russ, those are my two biggest. And I want to say what's up to Matt. Matt, good to see you here. Me and Matt chatted. He's a fellow Canadian as well, and I owe him an email. And I'm so sorry, Matt. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but good to see you here. And also Gabe. I believe Gabe just joined us in my Facebook community as well. So good to see Gabe here. Such a small world, you know. You start seeing the same names and stuff. Right. It's cool.
Well, and so tell us about your Facebook community. Where are you located?
Oh yeah. So it's a Content Marketers Cafe. It's a free Facebook group. You know, really, we just talk about content marketing, content creation. So that's totally free. You know, that's all we do. We just talk about content marketing. Right now, there's some other things out there, you know, with the things that are happening in the world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
distraction, a lot of attention going elsewhere. I know.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, it does impact, you know, there's a lot of, let's just say there's a lot of, you know, speakers that are in the group. And so they're kind of sharing some of the struggles with what's happening in the world right now. You know, so but that's what it is for. You know, it's a community. And although we are sort of like tied together by content, you know, we're content creators. It's a community, and there's people in there, and it's I mean, it's good that there's a place for that, because I'm sure that it's hard for a lot of content creators, a lot of speakers, a lot of professionals that speak for a living, to find somebody in their real life, in their city,
Well, it's kind of isolating at times
that can
being
understand them. Yeah.
a freelancer or a solopreneur or a independent entrepreneur. It's really challenging at times, and it's nice to be able to say I'm not alone.
Yeah.
When you're talking about all the ideas on your Trello board, it's like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And focus is also important. And sometimes you need a reminder. And I've always been a fan of Masterminds. So it's one of the things that allows me to kind of reel back in some of the distractions that take place. And I same thing. I applaud your efforts on Facebook. So I just created the Pirate Broadcast group. Nice. And I have a Pirate Broadcast page. So as a pirate, you need to go over there and connect with us over there so we can actually talk about and then share some ideas from the Content Cafe. So is it the Content Creators Cafe?
Yeah, I think Angie just put the link in there. Thanks, Angie. Okay. Content Market Cafe, a Facebook group. But yeah, and
fantastic.
It's great, yeah, it is really hard. It is kind of isolating if you don't have a community. I have this conversation all the time because when I, in real life, it's really hard. If you're working. So I've worked from home now, completely remote. When I was at Thinkific, there was an office, like they're based here in Vancouver as well. But now that I'm with TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy is based in California, San Diego, and Los Angeles. And so I'm the only Canadian. I'm the only one up here in Vancouver. So fully remote. So even more so now, I really find value in, in an online community, in a community of like-minded people. And so that's really why I've had the group for probably a couple years. But, really recently I've really started to be more active just because you're remote, so so hopefully it's bringing value to a lot of people, and it's good that you started a group as well. Definitely going to check that out.
Well, it's the same thing, the pirate, my whole concept is I want to build a community, and the community is around kindness, and kindness is cool, smiles are free, and the idea is that we all have an opportunity to help someone else out. We all have an idea, if I shine the light on you, you can help other people. Other people find out about you. You can actually just be discovered a little bit in a different, someone in the community could say, hey, Russ had Rob on and I want to find out more about Rob. Like I know about Russ, but I want to find out about Rob. And I just think, hey, if we can bring a little bit of encouragement and awareness in these communities, then it'll continue to grow. It'll continue to grow. And it's difficult because all of these platforms, Twitter, I spend time on Twitter and Instagram, and I took one of the feeds from Chris Amato, one of his stories, and I didn't realize that Instagram had released IGTV's limitation of 10 minutes stories. So I did all this editing and I cut it up into 4 sections, the episode, and I put it in there and I made it kind of nice. So if you're on it, IGTV, you can go check it out. And so I think I'll take episodes now and put it on IGTV, and then I had a lot of requests to go back and do my 2-minute tips too. And I thought, well, IGTV might be a place to do that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, and I love doing it. I just, like you said, you get distracted with life and some of the other things that are going on. And I'm really passionate about building the Pirate Broadcast. And I'm also passionate about building the Pirate Syndicate. And the Pirate Syndicate is, I've built these systems out. I don't know if you noticed, you get notifications, you got an invite, easy to access, schedule time. All of these systems are, done by my team. So I show up and do the show. Everything else is done. So it's like, I want to do that for other people and have an entire group of pirates broadcasting their own programs.
I love it. it. Yeah.
And then we can use YouTube and TubeBuddy to figure out what the analytics look like.
What's that going to look like? No, that's great. I mean, so from the whole experience to get on your show was super, super seamless. Like I was looking for the link and I put Russ And then right away, Google, like Gmail already said, link to Pirate Broadcast. Like even the title was perfect. It was easy. Even though I had multiple emails from you, there was one email with just the link. I mean, it was, so it's definitely helpful. So I think, so anybody that is going to be broadcasting, live streaming, which, Russ, I think this is like, not to say that this is like but I think there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be really gravitating to live streaming. I know virtual summits has like really spiked, the number of conversations around, okay, we can't do online, like we can't do in-person conferences. How about virtual summits, and so live streaming is kind of hand in hand with that, right? Like there's a lot of speakers, there's lots of experts right now that are isolated. They can't go anywhere, they can't travel. So how do they get out in front of their audience? Naturally, the first thing they're going to think about is video, live streaming. So I think there's definitely, if people are tuning in right now, if they want to get, I don't know what your service or what that looks like, but it's definitely something that would be very helpful for a lot of people. You're using StreamYard, which is, my go-to as well. I love those guys. Actually got to hang out with Gage last week.
I saw the picture. I saw the picture. Dan and Gage are awesome individuals. That's fantastic. So, and I use, I use a lot of tools, and I've been beta tester for many tools. So it's really, an opportunity to get, a kind of a view and perspective into what's evolving. I just really enjoy it.
So many good tools. There's so many good tools out there. The other tools that I saw last week, and people are great behind these tools. I met the guys from Ecamm, Adrian, and a couple of the guys there. Another great tool, and then I know also Mark from Switcher Studios they've got a great tool as well. So it's hard to pick which ones. I try to use them all, I guess, but just to know what's out there. But but I think there's going to be a lot more people live streaming. So you're doing a good thing there by putting that into a system.
Well, and I'm teaching it too. So I mean, I got a workshop coming up on the 19th that I'll be sharing the entire stack, the marketing stack that goes along with the Pirate Broadcast. So it's one of those things that I enjoy doing it, and it's valuable. It's a valuable opportunity. And I think the other thing that we're going to see coming up is a lot more companies, organizations. I tried to pitch this several years ago with podcasting, internal broadcast, and for organization, you get lots of employees. How do you promote culture? How do you build community? And I think live streaming is one of the opportunities that you can use that. If you can imagine somebody in the company, like a CEO, just jumping on live stream and saying, hey, today we got this going on. Here's something that we need to know about. Here, be aware of X, Y, and Z. And if you need some help, talk to this person, this person, this person. And I think it'd be a huge opportunity to really get real-time information out to the community and the organization. So I think we'll, at least if I have my way, we'll see that happening.
yeah, absolutely. I think there's more and more people working remotely just because they have to now.
Yeah.
Right. So I think a lot of companies will need to learn how to, like you said, maintain culture and then also communicate what's happening. I mean, a lot of tech companies do this already, and they're already used to, calling in for stand-up meetings and stuff like that, and using Skype or Google Hangouts and stuff like that. But I think a lot more traditional companies that are just new to this, they're going to be looking for resources on how to do that right and how to communicate. Yeah, for sure.
So I know we got to wrap up here, and I thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the guests, Roz, Diana, Matthew, Byron, Angie. Angie's an admin in the Facebook group too, by the way. She's been on Facebook for years, and she's been really awesome to assist in my Facebook community. So give her a shout out when you get an opportunity.
Will do.
And also, I have a question.
Yeah.
So Rob, what are you willing to walk the plank for today?
What am I willing to walk the plank for today? What does that mean? I feel like one of those pop quiz or dares or something. What do we walk the plank for?
Yeah. What's important to Rob today?
You know what? Really, if truth be told, like it's really, I think family for me, it's family. This is really what I do. It's like you do everything because of that. That's why I do what I do. Got a young family here, and that's really everything I do is geared towards that. So that's me. That's me. If you see any of my social media stuff outside of Facebook, my Instagram, that's really family first for me. So I think that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here. The Pirate Broadcast can be found on LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter through Periscope. Also, IGTV coming up. So
Nice.
pay attention. Follow me on some social platforms and podcasts. Now, Rob, as a special bonus, this episode will be transcribed to a blog post and also created as a podcast. So that'll be sent out shortly, later in the day, and you'll get links to that so you can see the whole process. So
Awesome. Yeah, definitely share it out. That's awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Russ. I mean, I always see the notifications and I tune in every now and then because it is 7 a.m. every day. So I'm honored to have been part of it now. So yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, and can't wait to have you on our show.
Yeah, I'd love to connect with you and get there, and also I'd love to learn a little bit more about TubeBuddy and the platform of YouTube. So
yeah, you bet.
Let's connect offline and make it happen.
You
and
bet.
Jill Sullivan, hello. She said hello.
Thanks, everyone. Hey.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
And remember, kindness is cool and smiles are free. So you enjoy the day.